Hi, I'm Joel Thahara and I'm the head tutor for the Essentials of Financing Your Startup course. Along with Paul Forrest, we make up the tutor team for this presentation of the course. I really enjoyed working on developing the course, unbelievably now around 3 years ago. And we've had 3 years worth of presentations which we've had really good feedback on. We've recently rebranded the title from Entrepreneurial Finance, so do forgive me if at any stage over the next few weeks I accidentally use that title in one of these videos. So we aren't here to give you all of the answers, but to provide a range of tools and opportunities to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. And what I would say is we're in this together as well. So feedback from your peers is a really big part of this. So please, keep your own ears open for that and do provide that as well. And actually, you've made a great start to that in the discussion forum already this week. For me, the course has three parallel paths where we look at the theory. Then we apply it to the fictional company Rent a Kitchen, which follows the same journey, and then we provide the opportunities to apply it to your own business concepts. It's a really experienced cohort and very diverse as well. So I'm sure you'll take a lot from this experience, and like I said, you'll add to that experience for each other as well. I really look forward to sharing it with you and learning more about your business concepts in the coming weeks. At the end of each week, I will just do a short video which summarises some of the main discussion points. And as we go on, I'll just pick up on any trends or anything that's coming through, whether it's with the assignment or anything else that's come up really as part of the course of the week. So the discussions this week have been a really good start, certainly a strong start for week one, and I'm sure you'll be able to build on that. And you're looking at the POC framework and some real clear points of agreement. Um, on a people front, that David and Luna need to highlight their own experience more, but perhaps even more crucially, around their team dynamic, their team bond. That certainly came through very strongly. And in terms of opportunity, you collectively felt that the case could be made a lot clearer in terms of total addressable market and that the need for clearer data on market data was really important. Thought within context it was interesting, and a few different views coming in there, perhaps competing views, which again is great, and that's really valuable to start thinking through the different ways there are of looking at things. So some of you felt that the post-pandemic environment was a vital part of it, and perhaps some of you felt that actually we're a little bit beyond that now, and that was maybe overplayed, and we need to perhaps move on from there. So and that had me thinking. It's interesting with this example. And like all case studies, we look at something at a fixed point in time, and that point in time is 3 and a bit years ago when this example was live. So the what we are now able to do, and it's very hard not to do, is to bring in current up to date knowledge and bring that kind of back from the future, as it were. So we do have to try, certainly in our critiquing of what happens at the time and our judgments of decisions that were made and thoughts that were being had at the time, we do have to remember we can't bring back that hindsight that we've now got. But of course, we are looking at it is a real example of a real industry that is still growing as an industry. So there is lots that we can bring in. We just have to be careful again around the context that we bring that in, and remembering, okay, well, when this example is set, when this case study is set, it is a few years ago now. The posts were fantastic. A few posts a little bit later in the week that moved a little bit away from the discussion that we had earlier in the week and to being quite long posts. Two things, probably firstly the length of those posts, but also them being later in the week might prevent them from being engaged with in quite the same way. So please do keep it as discussion based as possible, and revisit. And we're not necessarily looking for, if someone's already said, given a really good summary, you don't need to repeat that necessarily. We're looking for what can you add to that, what can you tweak, what would you disagree with even. So let's really try and make sure that the conversations continue to build all the way through the week, and that way you all get the most out of it. Um, I won't repeat all of the guidance there, but there is guidance there around, keep your posts under 200 words, etc. And there is a parallel with some parts of the assignments. And again, in a traditional business school way, we do strictly work to some of those word counts and later on slide counts and things like that. The idea is really get your message across as efficiently as possible. Again, that's a very kind of business school way of assessing things, and we do encourage that as well. Um, Final point really is that I encourage you to build on the start you've made, and to get as much engagement and interaction between yourselves as possible. We have some specific opportunities later on in the course, but within the online campus, there's a chat function, there's a meetup function, there's things that you can organize yourselves if you want to. WhatsApp groups, LinkedIn groups. Some of that it gets organised once you're alumni. Um, and like I said, look out for those opportunities in module 5 and 6 where we have the live class and opportunities to give explicit feedback on people's business concepts. So thanks for all your engagement this week, and a brilliant start. So well done to everyone for that. And I look forward to seeing you all build on that next week and beyond, and also to looking at your assignments, which some of you have now submitted as I'm recording this. Most of you have actually now submitted. So enjoy next week where we look at business plans, finances and financing needs. And if you need any support, remember, please just reach out to Paul or myself. Have a great week.